I'm wondering though, can you really call it a crash out when it just won't end? Ethan Klein of the H3H3 podcast is still on his crusade against Hasan Piker and anybody Muslim or Arab at Twitch. So we all know that he's been spending all day every day trying to be a victim. He's been trying to get Hasan Piker, or Hasanabi as he's known on Twitch, kicked off of the platform. And it's funny because remember a few weeks ago when he used my video to say that it was insane that I said that the reason why they were going after Hasan was Islamophobia? And he was like, that's insane. Is it though? Is it? Because tell me why on his show the other day, he compared Hasan to Osama bin Laden. Twitch or terrorist?
Friends, we are going to play the exciting game here. You at home, play along. We're going to play. Is it Twitch or is it a terrorist? Let's take a look here, guys.
You guys, he literally went on his show and compared him to Osama bin Laden and called him a terrorist. And this was after he also was on a crusade with Destiny to get a bunch of other Muslim creators on Twitch kicked off and called them terrorists. Which is some nerve considering who he's married to. And I don't want to hear any kind of bullshit excuses from anyone about, oh, it's a terrorist in this country, in the West, is used for one group. That's it. It is a dog whistle. It is a racist thing to say. The only reason why it's not known as such is because people get away with racism and Islamophobia against Arabs and people from the Middle East and Muslims. That is why. It's because it is totally normalized in our society. It is totally accepted in our society. Otherwise, we would treat it like a slur, as it should be. Because tell me when the word terrorist is used for anyone that isn't a brown Arab Muslim from the Middle East. And this type of racism and Islamophobia is totally accepted by everybody. He's on YouTube. YouTube didn't have anything to say about that. Didn't they just demonetize a bunch of accounts for simply talking about the news? Yeah, I think I saw that. Pretty sure I saw that. YouTube permanently demonetized a bunch of left accounts or pro-Palestinian accounts for talking about the news, for talking about the resistance, for talking about Gaza. Meanwhile, you have people like him on his stream doing Islamophobic, racist attacks against Hasan and comparing him to one of the most notorious terrorists, and YouTube's asleep. Yeah, YouTube didn't notice. They don't have anything to say about that. It's actually disgusting. And by the way, I'm not even saying that I think Ethan should be demonetized or that he should be kicked off of YouTube. No, I don't think, unlike them, that the answer to misinformation and hate is suppression. I don't think that suppressing people and canceling their speech is the answer. And I'm principled on that. But it just, to me, illustrates the double standard that all of these companies have, including Twitch, who did ban a bunch of Muslim creators because of their harassment campaign. And don't try to come in here like some of you did last time about, actually, Hasan isn't Muslim or Arab. Yeah, racism is irrational. It turns out that people judge people on how they look. You think most Islamophobes and racists actually know that Turkey isn't technically part of the Middle East? Do you think most racists and bigots give a fuck that Hasan is probably an atheist? No. And if you want evidence of that, just look at Cenk Uygur, his uncle, who has said for decades at this point that he is an atheist, but people still say Islamophobic shit to him all the time because they see a brown guy with a different name and go, oh, Muslim. So don't pretend to be dense, okay? Hasan comes from a Muslim background. And so as a result, it doesn't matter if he's an atheist or not. People still perceive him as being Middle Eastern and Muslim. And as a result, Islamophobia and racism. Like stop pretending like you don't fucking know this. More people need to push back against this disgusting and constant and ubiquitous and totally accepted in our country racism and Islamophobia. Racism targeted at brown people from the Middle East, targeted at Arabs. People need to push back against this because it's actually insane the way it's institutionalized, the way that it's institutionally accepted to do this to Muslim and Arab people. Meanwhile, this crybaby over here is still talking about how actually he's the victim in all this.